We're live. Happy Teachers Day, one and all, locally, internationally. We laud you for all your performances, and we continue to appreciate what you do. It is because of that today we are sitting here celebrating you, wanting all of you to be smiling because, in fact, we are happy at our end products. We are really elated to be here to share with you in this moment. Come on, open up, be free, be happy, because you can't be celebrating the day if you are not happy. So let us get ourselves in the mood for happiness. I am Bobsy Levy. I am your MC for today, this afternoon, and I want to feel you. I want your energy. I want you in it because we are here appreciating you. As I move, I just want to remind you that as special teachers, some teachers inspire love of learning. Some teachers help build character. Thank you for being the kind of teacher that does both. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a nice lineup here for you. We are enjoying it on the virtual scene. But we want to feel you, we want to hear from you, we want you to come on in and appreciate it. I'm going to pause just to recognize the fact that if we stop to encourage, if we stop to motivate, we must be celebrated. And we are going to celebrate the CCCJ this afternoon. All right? So to get us going, you know, we have to set the tone. We are Jamaicans, and across the world, we must set the tone. And in order to set the tone, we're going to kick off with prayer. So we are going to invite Mrs. Lynette Hall from the CCCJ to pray for us so we can move in style. Thank you very much. Mrs. Lynette.
Let us pray. Our loving, blessed Heavenly Father, it is always such a privilege to meet in your presence and to call you Lord. And so we are thanking you, God, for this opportunity. We pray, Father, that you'd guide these proceedings. We pray, Lord, for our Minister of Education and all entities, local and overseas, who are involved in education. We know, Lord, that education is from you. You will use it, oh God, to empower your people to become better citizens. And so, Lord, we are looking forward to the camaraderie which we shall enjoy. And we know, oh God, that at the end of this session, you would receive all the praise and all the glory, and all our lives would be enriched and uplifted. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Hall. So you've set that tone for us. You've invited him in our presence and in our midst. And of such, we are on our clear path to celebrate, to enjoy, and have fun. What reason should we not have today to look good, be pretty, feel good, and enjoy ourselves? We have some warm greetings that will be coming over to you from persons in positions that want to really remind us of how important we are in this business of education. And of such, and without further ado, I'm going to welcome first Dr. Nelson, Principal, Montego Bay Community College, and of course, the President of the Association of Principals and Vice Principals of the Community College. Dr. Nelson, we invite you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Levy.
You're welcome.
Such excitement. Our Executive Director, Dr. Donna Powell-Wilson, our Chairman for the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force, Mr. Leo Gillen, the guest speakers, Ms. Angelica Brooks and Dr. Beverly Gordon, all persons who are joining us, lecturers, all representatives from the different areas, locally and abroad, everyone joining us virtually, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the associations of principals, vice principals, of Community Colleges of Jamaica, I want to commend all teachers on this day for their dynamic contribution to education and nation building. Their energy, their commitment, their persistence has really transformed the landscape, and we want to applaud them. Ladies and gentlemen, our teachers are dynamic individuals. I want to thank them for the invaluable contributions that they've been making to education despite these challenging, unprecedented times. Despite the odds, they have remained resilient, dedicated, committed, and transforming lives throughout all education sector, not only locally, but globally. With the pandemic and the shift to remote learning, our lecturers, our teachers had to make the adjustment quickly. A lot of them were timid, scared, unfamiliar to them, but despite the challenges, they made the adjustment quickly. They transformed their classes virtually. They were able to change their courses for online delivery. And for that, we want to applaud our teachers. I want to specially recognize all the teachers within the Community College Council, and I speak specifically to the Bethlehem College teachers, the Brownstown Community College teachers, those at Case, Excelsior, Knox Polytechnic, Knox Community College, Nacolva Polytechnic, Knox Community College, Monee College, my own staff members here at Montego Bay Community College, Portmore Community College, and Trenchtown Polytechnic. You have been tremendous in your performance, especially this year during these difficult, trying, unprecedented times. I want to applaud you. I want to commend you. You have been the driving forces behind our students. You have impacted their minds, their dreams, their characters. You are just phenomenal educators, and we're indeed proud of you. On this Teachers' Day, I want to salute you and to ask that you continue the training that you've been provided in this professional fashion. You're excellent accommodators. You inspire the students for greatness, and for that, I want to thank you. I also want to express gratitude to the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, our Executive Director, Dr. Donna Cole-Wilson, for putting on this JAMINAR, as it is said, and also Mr. Gillins, the Chairman for the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force, and his team. Sir, we commend you for putting this on for our teachers. We appreciate it. I know Ms. Levy said it's going to be exciting. A lot of gifts are there, a lot of presenters are there, and we want to commend you and your team for putting this all together for our teachers this afternoon going into the evening. Thank you so much. I want to wish everyone a happy Teachers' Day. It has been wonderful so far. We are blessed to see this day, and we must salute and uplift our teachers. And I'm happy we're able to provide this for them. Thank you all. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nelson. Powerful indeed, and reassuring us of the work that we've been doing and that we're not left unnoticed. We're remembered every step of the way. Yeah. JAMINAR it is. So we're jamming, yeah. True? So yeah. We're jamming, yeah. But whilst we're jamming, we're taking care of ourselves. Thus, our focus today is how is it we're taking care of ourselves. Take time out, relax, put it down, stop, breathe. We ought to, because we must stay afloat. We can talk about our cannot today and the persons that are on board. And guess what? If you fail to take care of yourself and play your part, guess where you are? You're out in deep waters. So guess what? We need to ensure that we remain focused. We stay on course because we're indeed taking care of ourselves, taking care of you. Thank you again. We continue our conversation and now invite Greetings. We are coming from big this time. We are coming large. The entire diaspora, we are being represented here today. All right, so the Jamaica Diaspora and Task Force Action Network, the man himself, the chairman, Mr. Leo Gillins, he's coming to further cement the fact that we are important and important indeed in our educational transition. Mr. Gillins, your turn, sir.
I thank you so much for that wonderful greeting. I want to first thank Dr. Nelson first for setting the protocols in place for me. That's an important thing. And I also want to thank you for helping me design my speech, because I have no speech here. I just wanted to, and it's not a speech, it's just a greeting, but you set some thoughts in mind for me just by listening to you. It's a Teachers' Day. It's a big day for teachers. There's a little saying that says, teaching is a profession that makes all professions. And it's so important, because as I think about the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of England and all the other people in the world who considers themselves important and people who consider them important, they had to pass through a teacher. And it means that your worth is bigger than even what you are. And so I am happy to be, I am a graduate of Sam Sharp Teachers College back in 1980 something. And I have never taught in the classroom, but once you went through a teacher's college, you're always a teacher. And so the first day I decided that we need to go out on a limb and start changing lives, the first place that I thought about is education. So this all started with education, and now we have 13 such sectors in agriculture, in behavioral health, in education, in arts, in legal sector and immigration, in learning and development, technology and entrepreneurship, and we just at youth, and we just signed an MOU with the Jamaica Middle Eastern Task Force, and they are now a big part of us. We have one of the largest network, not one of, but the largest network of professionals across the world. We have 1,400 persons signed up who want to give back to Jamaica, give back in terms of technical expertise, educational expertise. We have the largest set, and we also have the largest contact list of Jamaicans across the world, 23 countries. And so we are proud to be able to give back. Last year, we sent out over 3.5 million emails to various people across the world, but was also proud to give 150 workshops to over 20,000 teachers in Jamaica last year. So we are very, very happy and happy to be here. We are very happy to collaborate. We collaborate with over 100 different organizations, including universities and colleges and teachers, teachers colleges and businesses right across the spectrum. We're happy again to be able to collaborate with CCCJ. This has been far coming because we've been talking for a while, wanting to explore how we can give back through the CCCJ, through the community colleges across Jamaica. I am reminded a little bit about listening to Dr. Nelson. I'm reminded of all the teachers who taught me at primary school, for example. A class, grade 1, I had Miss Skyers. B class, which is grade 2, is Miss Waite, and Miss Hilton in grade 3, Miss Gabby in grade 4, Miss Parker in grade 6. I remember all these people because they impact my life. And I know that everybody in the world who has been through basic school, my basic school is Miss Chambers, Chambers Basic School, right? And so if you go back into your history, into your mind, and think about anybody who has had that great impact on your life, the first person that comes to mind is your teacher. And so I remember seeing my teacher sharing her lunch with students, the lunch that she brought from home, sharing it with students. That doesn't happen in other professions. People are all for themselves. Teachers consider themselves a parent of the 46 or 50 students that's in front of them at all times. And I take this all the way to Sam Sharp Teachers College. I remember everybody who taught me. I'm still in touch with all of whomever is still alive, still in touch with all of them. And so it gives me a lot of pleasure when I start talking about education and teachers. And so anybody, I'll take them on, because anybody who speaks badly about any teacher, I don't care who it is, they have to come through me. So today, Teachers Day, I want to big up all of the teachers across, especially Jamaica. As long as you call yourself a teacher at any level, I am bigging you up right now. And I also want to say congratulations to the CCCJ for allowing us to come into your space and doing something. It can be bigger. This can be bigger. We have a lot of expertise in a lot of areas that you are. In nursing, we give, if you are of a nursing institution, and I know that a few of the community colleges offer nursing, registered nursing. If you want business and entrepreneurship, and if you want mechanic, and we have it right here in these 1,400 people that have signed up with us. So please feel free. My email address, leogilling@gmail.com. It's very easy. I am willing to collaborate with you. Many thanks to you again, and happy Teachers Day to all teachers. Thank you.
Mr. Gillens.
Yes.
Thank you for opening up yourselves to all of us, locally and internationally. We need each other, especially now. So once we can network and we can connect, we will strengthen our own education system, which we are really fighting for. So we are appreciative of you coming today to say, I am open. I can meet you right here. Link me at this number, connect with me so we can continue the conversation. Good job, sir. Thank you very much. And thanks for continuing to represent us at all levels of education. All right. We continue. I have the teacup challenge, which we're not able to see you over there, but you're going to write in the chat, and Danielle will pick out of it whatever you've written. It will be done in a different format because we're not going to be able to see you. You would have to run to your kitchen. That's what we ask you to do. Run to wherever you store your items. You're going to go for that particular teacup, that special teacup that gets you going as a teacher. And you would show that teacup to us. And then we will say to you, all right, this is what gets me going, right? This is what is written on my cup. What is written on your cup? You're not seeing my cup, but on my cup, I have coffee. What is written on your cup? When you tell it to Danielle, we have something to give you. It's a teacup challenge. Look for your cup, show it to Danielle over the other side, write down what is written on your cup, and then she will give something to you. She'll reach out to you just the same, and you'll receive. So I have my cup, and what is written in my cup? Coffee. All right, so we have coffee. Sometimes it is the coffee that keeps us going. Thank you very much. We continue. And as I said before, it is our time. It is our moment. It is our day. And we're not going to nothing going to prevent us from enjoying it virtually or anyhow. So we are going to continue with entertainment. We're inviting Bria. We're inviting Bria to come on over and to just to let us feel even happier today, because this is International Happy Teachers Day. You understand? So to make us even happier, Bria will come and perform for us. We welcome you, Bria.
Hear me? Hi guys. So my name is Bria. Thank you so much for having me here to perform for you guys. It is such a wonderful honor. I just want to say happy Teachers Day to everyone, Jamaica, especially because I know how hard you guys are working in this hard time. So I just want to say happy Teachers Day, and we all appreciate you a lot. Thank you for all the hard work you put in and help us. So this first song that I'm going to do, it's called Fake Promises. I've written it based on my life, based on the things that I've been through. I like to write inspiration for other persons to really understand what life is about. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy my performance. Me never born in a no well, but had family, parents, and myself. Still never complain now. Work hard every day, I wanna be the difference. Now I'm 190 degrees. Give thanks to the ones who believed in me. Studious are the pre. Me never have to give it up or show me body. Thanks to the promises they made. For success, my body, them want to trade. Fake promises a game, hard battle but brave still remains. They say I am late, there's no more space. Now here I am riding among the best in the race. Yeah, my mama told me I will be okay. Just be great, have faith, believe and watch it all come your way. She said, don't rush the things. Your time will come, them will live to see. No waste your energy. No depend on them and their fake promises. Yes, fake promises. Never ask or beg for the milk. Me force it to open kick it in myself. But I'm weird them love when you depend me now. Waste my time nor give them my strength. Right now I'm giving all that I have, my sweat, my tears. The rewards will make me glad. My turn, forget the bag. The Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, anyone is a swag. They say I am late. There's no more space. Now here I am riding among the best in the race. Yeah. My mama told me I will be okay. Just be great, have faith, believe and watch it all come your way. She said, don't rush the thing. Your time will go come, them will live to see. No waste your energy. No depend on them and their fake promises. Yes, fake promises. I've been waiting for this so long. Why you telling me to move on? I'm working the 9 to 5 to make a dime to provide for the 24-hour grind. One thing I know, them can't stop my show. The blessing just a pour like a river, it's a flow. Another open as them close one door. Yeah, 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 yeah. My mama told me I will be okay. Just be great, have faith, believe and watch it all come your way. She said, don't rush the thing. Your time will go come, them will it to see. No waste your energy. No depend on them and their fake promises. Yes, fake promises. Oh no. She said, don't rush the thing. Your time will come, them will live to see. No waste your energy. No depend on them and their fake promises. All right. So how are you guys feeling about that song? I hope you like it. It's really one of a kind to me. As I told you before, it is something that I've written from my heart, and I hope you guys enjoy this one as well. This other one is called Sunshine. You know, sometimes other persons don't believe in us, but sometimes we have to tell ourselves that we believe in ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves before others can believe in us. So I hope you enjoy this second song. Yeah, yeah, oh Lord, yes. In love with you, girl. Nobody else can take your place. One in a million, no make them trick you, no way you can be replaced. You're that sunshine, you bring me into my life. Hold your head up high, no lose your smile, just remember it's you and I. Infect me with your love and personality. No go no closer, them will drain your energy. Feeling down and now just put this on repeat. You will make it if you pray and believe. None of them now compare to you. Even at your worst, them can't walk in your shoes. You're a queen and whatever you do, you're a crown and a crown. It awaits you. Keep shining, you're my number one star. Them no see you've been hiding your scars. When you're too much on your face, you won't fall. Look at me, it is not your fault. You're a beauty and it shows very well. Inside and out, don't give up, don't you dare. In love with you, girl. Nobody else can take your place. One in a million, no make them trick you, no way you can be replaced. You're that sunshine, you bring me into my life. Hold your head up high, no lose your smile, just remember it's you and I. In love with you, girl, nobody else can take your place. One in a million, no make them trick you, no way you can be replaced. You're that sunshine, you bring meaning to my life. Hold your head up high, no lose your smile, just remember it's you and I. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. All right, so this last song that I'm about to do for you, it's actually a love song, and I hope you enjoy this one as well. Okay. This is love. There is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for you. This is love. Everywhere I go, there's something that reminds me of you. I can't help but feel the way I feel, baby, towards you. Yeah. Don't wanna ruin it, confuse it, but know that this is real. And this is love, yeah, 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 yeah. This is love. There is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for you. This is love. Everywhere I go, there's something that reminds me of you. Yeah. I can't help but feel the way I feel, baby, towards you. Yeah. Don't wanna ruin it, confuse it, but know that this is real. And this is love, yeah, 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 yeah. This is love. I've been loving you the way I want to. This friendship is real, so is the love that I have for you. Yeah. See, can you feel it? Can you feel it? This love could be so tangible. And loving you is not hard, but you got me feeling so crazy. Ooh, yeah. Wish I could mail you my love, cause you're so far away. I hope one day you'll see things my way. Yeah. And me, I drink or smoke something that will take my mind off you. And this type of feelings, they won't go away. And this is love. There is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for you. This is love. Everywhere I go, there's something that reminds me of you. Yeah, yeah. I can't help but feel the way I feel, baby, towards you. Yeah. Don't wanna ruin it, confuse it, but know that this is real. And this is love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, guys. And happy Teachers Day again.
Great job, Bria. Thank you very much for taking the time out to come here and share with us.
Thank you so much.
And while you were there singing and causing us to be happy, I took the time out to identify some of the very high points that you've scored for us all as teachers. So let me share them so you can smile even broader with them. You told us about the empty promises.
Yes.
And we respond to you to say that is why we chose a profession.
Yes.
That is why we chose to educate others, because we don't want them to live on empty promises.
Yes.
Right? So we're creating independent beings.
Mm-hmm.
As also, you reminded us, especially for today, that in fact, we are the sunshine.
Yes.
They look forward to see us. Yes. Sometimes we're their escape. We are home away from home. We're their energy. We're their motivators. You told us that in song, in your own way. We are 1 in a million. That's also a reminder. I took it out of your song just the same. You're speaking to us as the teachers of today. You said to us, since we are jamming today, keep on and keep on smiling. Because when you love something, it reminds them of who we are. It reminds our students of how is it we care for them. We are reminded, as Mr. Gillins told us, that we are reminded how our teachers in return treated us when we were coming up through the educational systems. So we thank you for adding more.
Having me.
You're most welcome. Adding more to us. Continue to pour it on to us, because today is our day and we are really deserving of what we are getting. Thank you very much for
having me.
Sharing it with us. Good
Thank you.
All right. So that said, we are going over to YouTube land, because we want to talk to our YouTubers. We want to tell persons who are watching us, our teachers today, that even in the midst of the virtual life, we want to still continue to give. And courtesy of the CCCJ, we have right here, so you can take out your phones, but for this time, you must have a digital phone, right? If you're listening over there on YouTube, your digital phone must be at play, because we have something to give you. And when I'm ready, make sure you're ready. What do we call it? Quick fingers? Quick fingers, and I can talk very quick if I so desire. So quick fingers, YouTube, it is your time. So here we go. We're not being biased, it's a flex time right now. So flex people, your turn. Here it is. Number 5544. Got that? 8 3 6 6 0 2 0 8 2. We have a winner. Who is the winner over there on YouTube? We'll get that later on. Sabrina, we have a winner somewhere over there. We'll be getting a text to say who the winner is, and we will celebrate with you. Even when we are in the mode of getting, we're still giving. That's the teacher that we are. Thank you very much for continuing to participate. And remember, if you continue to stay tuned, we have more to give you. Your turn will come. Thank you so much for being the good audience that you are sharing with us this afternoon. We move along on our program because we are filling ourselves with valuable information from the expertise that we have here today. Of such, I want to invite Ms. Robin Barrett from the CCCJ. Right, Ms. Robin will be coming forward to lay the foundation to introduce our speaker. Come forward, Robin, and let us hear what you have to share at this time.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Levy. Empowerment coach Angelica Brooks, who is also the president of Angelica Brooks Investigative Services and founder of the Silent Voices Project, brings her expertise in investigations, human rights, human trafficking, cold cases. Her work is heavily in providing resources for victims of violent crimes. She also serves on the steering committee and is the Alabama representative for human rights education. Angelica also serves on the board of the Denny Social Welfare Organization in Nigeria, assisting human trafficking victims. Angelica has had a lengthy career in the realm of criminal justice, working as CSI to investigations to forensic pathology, followed by private investigation. Angelica's sole purpose is to impact the lives of others by being a voice to the voiceless. Angelica has been recognized by several media outlets and recognized in her community for the work she has done internationally in human trafficking and court cases. Please welcome Miss Angelica Brooks.
All right. So remember now, we have style and we have fashion. So now that you've told us about Angelica, we're going to do some serenading before Angela comes to the stage. Understand? That must happen. So now that we learn the background, we're going to pour more onto her before she comes to us. So in that breath, we are going to invite none other than Chris, the entertainer, Larmond, to come forward and present to us before we ask Miss Angela to speak. Thank you, Miss Daniel. I am so sorry. Go right ahead. Thank you. We are calling on stage Chris, the entertainer, Larmond.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we are.
You sure?
We're hearing you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, everyone. Let me I was trying to get some intro music, so just hold on a sec here. It didn't work out for me. Okay, good evening. As you notice, I make sure it came in my mask because I'm not taking any chances. I want school to reopen. So good afternoon, good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris, the entertainer, Larmond. And thank you guys this evening, this afternoon. I must say happy Teachers Day to each and every one of the teachers here. And thanks for having me before I even begin. All right. Let me see some round of applause. I come here watching on one big screen in front of me. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Mr. Leo. I see you. Robin, come Robin, Robin, I look by you for you when I look down by your phone. Come Robin, put your hand together and clap. Come Robin, clap. Yes, you see up. There you go, Robin. There you go. There you go. Come now, yes. Doc, how you do, Doc? Miss Maureen, there you go. I know you're seeing me. I know you're seeing me. That me like this when teachers smile. I like this when they're angry, bring back memories, traumatic memories. Yeah. That back in my day when I go to school, beating was prevalent. So when they're serious, it look like they do something wrong again. Memories are flow. I don't know, good memories. I make sure I put myself together this evening. Teachers, talking about putting yourself together. May I beg you please. Me notice that the young people them of Jamaican, especially young man. Them. May I beg you please. You can't teach them how to pull up them pants. No, me ask you, me ask. No, no can ask them. Me see them upon this advertisement thing where the pants the weird and I say them soon start wearing pants that they need. But if you say fit them, we can bring back lashing. Fit them, just fit them. That's set of people there. We can bring back little lashing. We don't know if Andrew upon the life, but sir, you know that them people they can bring back lashing. Yeah, just to them people there. When I used to go to school, it was like no, me see pick me aware, especially the boys. I wear tight pants go school. Back in my time, you couldn't wear that. You couldn't wear that. And the funny thing is, me had the last one for my man. Anybody know what they call the last one in Jamaica? We call them wash belly. For those who are online watching, they call them wash belly. I know some of them teachers are probably are foreign and they feel like they forget the Jamaican jargons and terms. They have to bring it back to me. Yeah, wash belly. Me had the wash belly for my man. So when me did I go to school, me did have to wait till my big brother don't wear the uniform. Then he pass on to me other brother. Then he pass on to me other brother before me get it. But I don't know if you don't live the lifestyle, but I them lifestyle me good weird. They hand me done. Yeah, when me get it done. Yeah. So sometimes when me I go to school for me uniform pants, you know say it wash out. It's supposed to be brown, but I mean invent darkers. Because when me I wear it white. Yeah, them wear it. Teacher used to sign for me. That one of them the teacher used to give somebody else the little lunch for them bring. Yeah, me I one of them. Me I'm proud of it. So me glad, me happy for that. Yeah. So when me used to get it, me used to get a pants, so them used to call squeeze me seed and fan me ankle. Some people used to call it bellas. Me call it torture. But no, if I didn't know me I wear it, me that be hot boy at school. Jesus, me that be hot boy. Me that be one of them boy where the girl them look for. Because no, I that I wear it. Then I never that I wear it. Back then, I torture. Yeah. Me not tell like serious something. Remember one night time when I reach high school, things had changed me. When I reach high school, people me not tell a lie. The teacher them the things I troublemaker, I don't know why. I did more outspoken in high school, especially my English teacher. Remember one particular class we had, she said, I want you to tell me what part of sentence is this. No, granted, my English teacher was old, and when she talked, she kind of slurred her words. So it was more like, good afternoon, students. It's a female, even though she might sound so, it's a female. Yes. Good afternoon, students. Now, I want you to tell me what part of speech is this. I am a beautiful lady. You know, me put up my hand. I'm going to say, obviously, Mr. Saying at the past. That's a past tense. Yeah. And when me do them something, them say me a troublemaker. One day she come in and she said she had a social development program in her school. Long before them start in foolishness high school, them say them a child with because they want to see how we are thinking. So when the teacher was coming to class and she was like, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Because I was on the evening shift. Good evening, everyone. Now, I just want to find out the spectrum of scope of how each and every student in here are thinking. So I'm going to say, all right, this sounds like an activity where me can take part in that. As I said, in high school, I did a bit talkative. I'm going to start with come on my mind. Activity I go on, say, if anybody feel like they're stupid and they're good for nothing, could you just please stand up here? Nobody move. Nobody move. Classroom silent. Just like how we're silent just in the room now, everybody's silent. Nobody move. So me I look around at me and say then, all right. Nobody now move. So me get up and me go stand up side of the teacher. The teacher go say, why me do that? So me say then, miss, me see you want to stand up here, so me just come join you if you don't make you feel too bad. You know, saying can go to principal office. So me I call the teacher say she dumb. And she feels stupid and she feels reckless. And I know me not see them words out of my mouth. Big up to Dr. Fox, and she did my teacher. I have to love her the same way. But I have to big up the College of Vocational Training Development Institute. Any teacher in here from there, so we have to be going up because this is the Caribbean Council of Colleges. So we have to be going up. Anybody from there, so big up on yourself, right? I used to go to that institute, but I got a scholarship, so I have to big up Archus for that one day. Archus look for me and tell me, say, automotive are not for your team. You look like you're a more IT person, so go on to school, go learn IT. I don't want to feel. I don't know if because me always clean when we go on any car, come back out, them just say, I don't want to feel. But anyway, we go VTDI people and we have to pick up Miss Garden. She was our guidance counselor there. Now, seriously, you know, why me have to pick up and love teachers, you know? People, me could have get expelled from school, but Miss Garden saved me. I don't know if you don't know what is known as brownie. You don't know what is known as brownie, teachers? Any of you know what is known as brownie? Robin, you know what is brownie? Yeah, man, I know you're shaking. You don't must know that one. Once you have marijuana in it, you don't must know. So you start smiling, Robin. Yeah, man. You don't see what going in now. That's how me jar out. But anyway, people, my friend, them, where I get ready for World Skills. I don't know if you don't know that competition, World Skills. So at one particular day, my friend and I, we went to one party. And we see everybody did that act crazy and then come back to school and everything. And we are talking about it and we say, boy, everybody did that act strange that day there now. So I say, you know, say, what are going to do? When them say they eat at the party. So people, we decided to make some brownie. The bad decision is, we brought it on campus to eat it. People, it never turned out good. May I advise you know, if you don't have any children or anybody, you don't warn them about this. The adverse effect of marijuana when digested, it is not the same as when smoked. People, I know it's a teacher's forum, but I have to bring it up because it brings back memories. All right, come here, you know, so I say, serious something. People, you know, so when I done eat the brownie, at hospital, I wake up. At hospital, I wake up and I drip, you know. I mean, I tell a line of people, when we wake up in the hospital, I see one roach, you know. Them say me in the hospital, I pet the roach, you know. Because me the weed cake, you know, I tell the roach, say I walk too fast. Shh, take time. And I walk. People, it never pretty. It never pretty. I serious something I tell you. But as you can see right now, teachers, me happy for no, I'm happy to say happy teachers there, but you know, me case I open up the classroom. Now I'm gonna please me ask on behalf of the whole entire Jamaica. We love you. For every time we cuss you know, and say the dirty teacher this or the dirty teacher that, I lie we did that there. We never mean it. I joke we did that make. When you cut everything out of we are gonna please. Me know I'm not the only one to ask. When you contact them, because it means spend just not even 1 year. Look while let them lock back school. I'm missing my son. Well, why me have to feel like say, boy, oh God. We don't know how to do it, you know, but me know me can do it. I know for me work. We have to go on thanks and praise seat. Right now, me in my son classroom. This is classroom. Believe it or not, I classrooms. Computer over the side and everything. And me just borrow it. I thought I had a computer until all of this pandemic. I realized I don't own a computer. So right now, I have to use my phone to transmit everything because my son take my laptop and say a film now. Everything, him say a film now. He just said, Daddy, this is mine. But you know what born me teachers? What born me more than anything else? You know, so the boy wake up a morning time and say, no, I go to school. I say school, eh? Bedroom, they don't listen. So all him have to do is just get up, bathe if him choose to bathe, and walk come to school. And boy, I go look at me and tell me, say, no, I go to school. Me ask him, who a bully you? Who? Show me. Who? Because that's the only time we feel like we don't want to go to school because we know that somebody are going to beat you up and take away lunch money. But nobody did beat you up. Who? Who? Me have you asked him if he shadow or beat him at the time? No, serious something. Boy, I go look at me and tell me, say, no, feel like go to school today. You know how much for school fee? And that me have to ask him. He say, oh, you know, government have to pay for 1 year. You go private school. I beg you go over in your classroom. Yeah. And me feel them, no, me still have to go back. Me really feel them need to bring back corporal punishment for the people. No, me really feel so. And not only that, why? Teacher, you don't have it hard, you know? You don't have it, no man, you don't have it hard, man. Just thinking about it make me ask you. You don't have it hard, me I tell you. I couldn't do it, you know? Because, I don't tell a lie, me feel so I go come to me one day, you know? One day, boy, I go wake up and look for me. And one day my wife wake up, you know, and my wife said, listen to me, I just want 5 minutes more sleep. So I say, all right, I feel much of the morning right now. I say, all right, no problem, babes. Sleep. I got this. That was said to my wife, and I said, I got this. She said, you're sure? I said, yeah, man, I got this, man. Go in my son's room, and I touch him, and I say, wake up. He wake up. This time, he was 3 this time. He was 3. So I said, I'm getting you ready this morning for school. I see him look around. Daddy, you sure? I said, what do you mean by it? I said, yeah, where you going? I said, I can't get you ready for school. I said, no, Daddy, go wake up, mommy, please. Daddy, please, wake up, mommy. But I said, no, where you going? I said, me is not a good father. I'm not play my role. I said, yo, I got this. Beat out my chest in people. So I'm going to go, so now, boom. Tell him, say, take off your clothes, go in the bathroom. So take off his clothes and go in the bath, and then he turn around and look up at me and say, Daddy, you sure? I'm going to say, why you make it look so? Someone said, all right. Someone say, wet up your foot. Because you know, in a country, we tell you if you wet up your foot first, because we know why you catch flu. Because once your foot wet up, you can't see. So I say, wet up your foot. You wet up your foot. So I soap up the rag and I lather him up and I soap him up. It's because I talk to teachers, I use the word lathering. So I lather him up. Right? For the them teacher that when they jump the class, I don't understand that means I soap him up. Alright, so I lather him up and everything. And I say, yeah. All of a sudden, people, I see this little boy, I look for me serious and I look up and so I say, what happened? So I swear, say, him get a hit or something, or him did a play and him fall down. So I start asking, what happened to you? Boy, I look up at me and I puff. So I say, what happened to you? He said, Daddy, why every time you beat me, you soap up me with the rag, and then you soap up my penis and use the same rag and wash my face? Daddy, that's disgusting. People, you know, so I look at the boy and I say, you know what? I last time I beat him. I just call him mother because I so I want to come for me, you know. Because you don't think they left for me if you do, you know, I beat me, you know, say. I don't know if you don't know about back in the days beating, you know. Remember when you used to get beat when you are beat? You remember when you do something wrong and your parents them just love you? Them just love you. And them just say, fall with feed a yard, no hard to catch. You know what they mean yet, you know. So till when you start to beat, glory be unto the Most High. Hallelujah. And you see the shower curtain go so shh. And then you see the bell come down so on the wet skin. You go, hey, remember me tell you, you know, if you did not get beaten them days they saw, you could be any singer. Because when the volume of your voice come out, you know, sometimes at the silent singing you go on with it. You know. Like scratch record, you know. No. And then the funny thing them are going to tell you, say, stop the balling. Because me not give you nothing for ball for yet. And if you ball too soon, and you know ball none at all, if you not ball none at all, them say, oh, you're tough. So you're not ball. And then give you more. Them something right. You know, so one day when boy me start getting for my father, I just turn and look for my father one day man beat me and I say, you what now, daddy? I understand some wrong. I understand say you're going to beat me. But daddy, all me ask you to do is tell me when to ball, when to stop ball, and when to say, it hot, daddy, beg me, I beg you, please. You know, my father threw it on the bed. I said, he can't bother with me, so I jacket. That started another round with him and my mother. Because my mother said, what you say? Eh? Because right now, I'm not telling you lie. This pandemic, it make family come together. If you and your family now come together right now, but I advise you not to do that because this pandemic proves that life is too short, people. By the time you quint, somebody could just go on with the wind just like that, right? I don't know if that's why, because all of that was going, people, I find some papers and realize, say, it's like my wife find out, say, I take out an insurance policy for she. So she take out back an insurance policy for me. So it's like a waiting game with this COVID thing. Who dead first, lose. No say nothing doing, just keep that between us. So your teachers, nobody makes you know about that one. No, and it look like she go win people because a woman there cook some food. Jesus have mercy, made it slimmer than this, right? We have to wear black to look slim. And they say a heart attack are the #1 killer man, and no COVID, a heart attack. So she go win. Kakude. And you can't go to the door, run up and down. You can't go gym, you can't go nowhere. That's why you see enough man in Jamaica did a heart attack. Me feel she go win. No feel say she go win. You don't know if you don't feel like she go win. Robin, you feel she go? Robin, why you look so like you cheer for you? Robin, me not like that. You look like you don't know why. Robin, don't do that. Don't do that, Robin. Me have no feeling for. Look how me young and look with Robin. Oh God, not do me that. Not do me that. Not do me that, Robin. But me love her same way, people. I don't know if she hear me, so I whisper. I don't know if you hear me clearly the same way. You don't hear me clearly the same way. Not if you don't hear me. Okay. I don't know if she there close by, right? So I know she hear that part there. You understand? But I know say enough of the other male teachers them out there and the other man. That COVID thing and mash up life away. That mash up life. No for no men we want to go back outside. We know why I don't want to go back outside. You know. Ladies, allow me to tell. We know why they want to go outside. Right now, the happiest time than enough my lady life. You can't go nowhere. You can't say me I play domino tonight. You can't go nowhere. You have it in a yard. If the dinner not taste good, you better say, babes, yeah man, it tastes good, honey. Wow. Or you do like me, say, babes, I got the cooking this week. It's like all Mother's Day I come up, babes, I got the cooking this week. Oh God, Andrew, have a good week. But ladies and gentlemen, that was my time. I'm Christopher, the Entertainer Larman. If you want to see more of me this May 9th, you can go on eventsbright.com. We have a comedy special going up. So you don't have to rush and go nowhere. You can just stay right at home, turn on your TV, watch it on a big screen, and just laugh. Right? And if you need to read me, you just reach Johnny Productions Live and you'll see me. All right. Thank you very much. And happy Teachers Day again to all the beautiful teachers out there. And all the male teachers, them respect, respect, respect. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right. So let us hear it for Chris the Entertainer Larmond. Come on, let me hear you over there in YouTube land. Let me hear you for Chris the Entertainer Larmond. If you were paying attention, you'll recognize that Chris showed us a number of atrocities that can happen to us as teachers. But in doing that, we stop to remind ourselves that we can't pour from an empty cup. We can't pour from an empty cup. So therefore, it means that we must stop, breathe, think, and start taking care of ourselves first. Thank you very much, Chris, the Entertainer Larmond. As we move forward, I know that Angelica came, Robin came, sorry, and now I'm going to invite our guest speaker, Miss Angelica Brooks, to come and even add more substance to all that we have been receiving so far. Miss Brooks, please.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I want to say again, Happy Teachers Day to all the teachers out there. I know how hard it can be, challenging, and some of the day-to-day things teachers go through on a daily basis. So in my segment today, I want to talk to you a little bit about self-care and stress management. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. So today I want to share with you some of the tips that I use or have used. I kind of swear by them on a daily basis that helps me get through the day, whether I'm giving, courses or, just navigating through day-to-day work and home life. So when you think of self-care is kind of just being mindful of your needs so that you're better able to perform in your interaction with others, whether it be the workplace, in home, with friends, in relationships, etc. So the primary 8 areas of self-care that you want to focus on is the physical, the emotional, psychological, social, the professional, the environmental, spiritual, and financial. So some of the areas, the tips that I want to give some reflection on is like, first, reflection. So taking the time to reflect on some serious thought on your day. If you're having a rough day or your day has just been extremely stressful, just taking the time to journal out some of the things that were positive throughout your day, not always looking for the negative. What positive things happen throughout the day that will help you to look forward to the next day. Some of these things can help you to analyze possible changes you may need to make in your day or your day-to-day activities or your home life to make it easier for you to navigate through. Taking the time to decompress. Having someone to share your day with, whether that be your friends, your family, taking a day off just for yourself, teachers going to get your nails done, pedicures, whatever that just takes your mind to another place, being able to decompress the stressors or pressures of life. Reading is great for me because it takes me to you're diving into something outside of your life. So reading is definitely a way of decompressing. Zoning out. One of my favorites is dancing to music. My kids say that I shouldn't be on TikTok, but it makes me relax. It makes me happy. So being able to take that time out, zone out and go in a whole nother place is great. Finding a craft or hobby, something you enjoy doing and you're passionate about, is definitely helpful for teachers. And one of the biggest ones is getting plenty of rest. Taking the time to rest and relax is something that allows for you to be able to be refreshed and mentally prepare for the next day. So you don't have that heavy load that you're carrying into the next day. Sleep allows you to have the needed reset that you need during that day. So getting that proper 8 hours of sleep helps with positive mood change as well. One of the biggest ones that I had to navigate through is being able to establish boundaries. It is so important for your well-being to clearly define boundaries within your workplace, within your friendships, just life in general. Boundaries keep you sane. So pretty much you set your limits for other people to respect your personal space. And then just having that ability to say no. When you feel overwhelmed or you feel like too much is on your plate, instead of continuing to add to that, maybe to help satisfy others, just taking that saying, you know, this is a lot for me and I just need to pause and just take that break. So boundaries are definitely very important. And another great one is starting the day with positive affirmations. That could be, I got this, or I'm ready to take this day on. I trust myself to handle this day. And it helps us to put our best foot forward. It allows us to be motivated and full of positive energy just to be our best selves for that day. So we're not filled with negative thoughts. Now, when we think about stress management, it's identifying techniques and activities that will be allowed to help us to manage and eliminate ourselves from stressful situations. So the ones that I live by are the 4 A's, which we'll get into. So the first one is avoid. Taking control of your surroundings. If something makes you uncomfortable or you have to step back, if you're teaching something and your class is disruptive, people aren't listening and you have to take a moment back before you respond, that's okay. Just being able to avoid, people who bother you or negatively affect your mood, being able to redirect them. Same thing goes with being able to say no. Sometimes you just need to just take that step back and just say not today. And then also the hardest thing for me is learning the ability to be able to ditch part of your to-do list. So if you have all these things that you have written a list of, which I'm a big list person, of all the things that you want to accomplish in a day, just being able to say, you know what, I did whatever's under list A and I did whatever's under list B, but C, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. That way your mind is not so focused on trying to get all of that done at one time, because that's going to lead to even more stress. Sometimes you may need to alter just making some, respectfully asking others to change their behaviors, saying, you know, this is not helping me, this is not something I agree with, or I don't like the way you're approaching me, different things like that. Just being able to alter the characteristics that might, or behaviors that may be coming off others that may negatively affect you. Communicating your feelings. Sometimes when we're in the workplace or as teachers, we don't want to hurt a coworker or hurt somebody else's feelings, but sometimes we have to be able to, at the same time, communicate how we feel. Managing your time more effectively, and that goes with that list. You know, being able to say, I can get this done, and prioritizing. Instead of just piling your list on, being able to prioritize and focus on what you want to accomplish for that day. And being able to state your limits in advance. If you're a teacher and you feel you can't accomplish X, Y, and Z in a day, then being able to set those limits to coworkers, supervisors in the beginning, you know, to avoid disciplinary action, things like that. Make sure that you're upfront and you're truthful about your limits. Sometimes we need to take a step back in the workplace or as teachers and accept things that we cannot change. So when we do that, being able to have someone to talk to about those type of things, being able to forgive others for, they might not be having a bad, they may be having a bad day and they may come approach you and it may be a little off. Being able to forgive those people that, you know, they're just having a bad day and don't take it, you know, to heart. And positive self-talk is another focus where you want to always keep yourself in the mindset of being in the positive and not always negative. And learning from your mistakes, accepting your mistakes as learning experiences instead of taking it into the negative. And then the last one is to adapt. So being able to adjust your standards, knowing, not searching for perfection. We're all imperfect, so it's okay to not be perfect. So just adjusting your standards to be accepting of who you are, where you are. Practice thought stopping, the negative thoughts. As soon as your mind starts to filter those negative thoughts, change it immediately to something positive. Reframing the issue. Try looking at the situation if you're not understanding something from a different viewpoint. That may help you to better understand why things may be a certain way, or regulations, or, you know, different things may be adjusted through working in the workplace. For example, with COVID, a lot of us are virtual now. So being able to make that adjustment and seeing it more as seeing positive from it instead of the negative will help as well. And adopting a mantra, meaning just simply, I can do this, I can get through this, I got this, you know, just those positive affirmations. And creating an asset list, all the things that bring you joy in life, and then just start going for it. Each one that you check off in your free time, you know, it will bring positivity to your life because you're achieving some of your life goals outside of the workplace. You're still bringing joy to your life. And then the last one, just looking at the big picture. When you look at situations that are stressful now and you think about it 5 years down the line, is this going to still be stressful to me? Will help you to analyze how serious is this, and you may start to figure out that you're overstressing and you're doing too much in the situation. So those are just some of the brief tips that I wanted to share with the teachers today that I live by that really helped me get through my life, my day-to-day life, in the workplace, when I'm teaching, whatever it is that I'm focusing on. Those skills have been just everything to me. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity for sharing some of those tips that we can all use, we can all put to good use. And that's it for my presentation on self-care and stress management. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We thank you for sharing this presentation with us. And truly, these are some things that we need to be doing. We need to be avoiding. We should be altering some of these things just the same. And especially today, we must be adapting to what is happening. So change is necessary. And with this change, we ought to have ourselves, our minds ready to engage, ready to take on whatever challenges are presented in front of us. Thank you very much. You continue to add to our baskets. We've taken them away. So many takeaway we have here today. But the truth is, we just need to go and put them into practice. So it will become even more and more meaningful to us. I am shouting out to my people over there in YouTube land, making sure that you're still there with us. You're taking note of what is happening. We are putting in as much as we're taking out. Your contribution in your chats, we have winners, all of that we're paying attention to. So you're never alone. We are really considerate of you. But we continue to pile it on today because we want you to feel really and really appreciative, knowing full well that all of this is done for you. So you are deserving and you deserve it. I now invite Mrs. Danielle Clayton James from the CCCJ to come forward with another introduction. Danielle.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is Miss, not married as yet, so it's Miss. Okay, so Dr. Beverly Gordon. So Dr. Gordon holds a doctoral degree in clinical psychology, a master's degree in counseling psychology, and a bachelor's degree in nursing education. She is a licensed clinician in private practice, a part-time psychology professor, and will shortly take on the role of counsel of student affairs. She is a member of several professional organizations, one such being Vanguard Medical, an organization that is engaged in providing professional development courses for emergency room physicians, nurses, and social workers who work with domestic violence and inmates partner abuse cases. She has authored and co-authored articles for professional journals such as the International Humanities Review and the International Perspectives on Psychology. A devotionals for women's devotional published by Pacific Press Publishing Association. She is the past vice chair of the Jamaica Diaspora Behavioral Health Task Force and a current chair of the Jamaica Diaspora Health Task Force. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Dr. Beverly Gordon.
Oh, are we hearing? Let us hear it for Dr. Beverly Gordon. Are we hearing? So we are participating. I want to see it happening over here on YouTube or in YouTube land. So welcome, welcome. It is now, the floor is yours, Dr. Beverly Gordon.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be here this evening. And I just want to spend a short time talking with you about lifestyle and mental health. I'm going to try to share my screen. Wonderful. While my computer is being a little bit slow in bringing up my PowerPoint, I want to take the opportunity to say Happy Teachers Day to all the teachers. I hope this day has been wonderful for you so far, and I hope it will continue to be wonderful for you. I am not sure that you are seeing what I want you to see. Are you seeing my PowerPoint?
Yes, we are.
You are, okay, okay.
You want to show us the outline view, or you want the normal view?
Exactly. I think I'm on the wrong view.
So go to the other one. If you look back where outline, you look for normal, right beside outline.
Yes.
Slideshow. All right. From beginning.
Right.
Oh, that's what you want.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I want to show you. All right. So we're talking about lifestyle and mental health. And what exactly is mental health? A lot of times when I talk to people about mental health, it seems as if they first of all start to think about mental illness. And the two things are actually different, right? So a healthful, balanced lifestyle is not a guarantee against physical or mental illness, but certainly it's going to increase our chances of enjoying more years of health and happiness. Although it might be somewhat overlooked, lifestyle is as important to the mind as it is to the body. So a lot of times when we talk about lifestyle, we talk about things that we can do to help us to be healthier physically. But the things that we do as part of our lifestyle can also affect our mental health. Mental health is really a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. And that's the World Health Organization's definition of mental health. So it has to do with feeling good and being able to interact and make decisions and have a useful existence in life. The mentalhealth.gov also has a definition. It says that mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. Remember that, how we think, feel, and act, because that really has to do with mental health. It determines how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and how we make choices. All of these have to do with how our mental processes work, and they can be affected. All of these things can be affected by the practices in our lifestyle. There is a relationship between physical and mental health. Chronic physical illness can increase the risk for mental illness, and vice versa. Mental illness increases the risk for chronic physical illnesses. So there's a reciprocal effect between the physical and the mental. Even, for example, hormonal imbalances, which is part of the physical aspect of our being, can also affect our mental health. Sleep cycles can affect our mental health, and it can also affect our physical health. Medications can affect our physical health, but it can also affect our mental health. Even just the regular, the usual, the expected side effects from certain medications can actually affect the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. Therefore, medications can have a negative effect on our mental health. And of course, stress, as a previous speaker talked about stress, stress is something that can affect both our mental and our physical well-being. So what is mental illness? I said that when I talk to people about mental health, they tend to start thinking about mental illness. The term mental illness describes a wide range of conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior. So again, the way we feel, the way we think, and the way we act. Mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, and behavior, or a combination of the three. These conditions involve distress and/or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. So mental illness really interrupts the way we function in all the various areas of our lives. And so lifestyle is very important. Lifestyle really refers to adaptable behaviors and way of life that influences a person's health and well-being. Some lifestyle factors include diet or nutrition, exercise, substance use, water, the use of water, rest, balance, and self-care. These everyday factors that influence our mental health can fall within one of three areas: the biological, such as genes or genetic makeup or brain chemistry, or it can be environmental, related to history of trauma or abuse, racial discrimination, marginalization, loss of social support network. And the third area is existential: fear, feelings of fear and hopelessness, and even sense of guilt from what we commonly refer to as sin. And so individuals' mental health can be affected by what we call the biopsychosocial factors: biological, environmental, and existential. So these negative lifestyle effects on mental health of nutrition, for example. Did you know that children sometimes can show up in the classroom behaving certain ways that we think, oh, this child's just bad, or this child's just rude, or this child's just really, this child's dunce. I remember the word dunce from back in the day. This child's just dunce. Or we put negative connotation on the child's behavior, when in fact, it could be that the child is missing an important nutrient from their diet, such as iron, for example, zinc, the vitamin B12, vitamin B6, these nutrients that actually affect our ability to think and to function cognitively. Activity. Nowadays, we find that there is an increase, for example, in obesity, both in Jamaica, in the United States, Canada, just about everywhere almost now, because one of the things that has happened is that we're not as active as we used to be. If you maybe back in the day, we used to walk 3 or 4 miles without even thinking about it. But now we just jump in our car. And then when we get to wherever it is that we're going, we park as close as possible to the entrance. So we, minimize our movement. And then also because some persons live in areas that might be dangerous to the child's well-being. And so the parents don't want them to go outside and run around freely because, they're afraid that they might be in danger. So there are various reasons why our level of activity may have decreased. And even for us as teachers, our level of activity might have decreased because of age, because of illnesses, various reasons. But it has been said that lack of physical activity is as damaging to us physically as smoking cigarettes. Now, that's a pretty strong statement, but that's how serious activity and lack of activity is. Hydration. Our brain is comprised of about 75% water. So when the children are in the classroom and they don't seem to be able to concentrate and they seem to be falling asleep, probably it's not because you're boring. It might just be that they're not properly hydrated. Water is extremely essential to life, and it's essential to the proper functioning of the brain. So you see again how it can affect both physical and mental health. Sleep is a big one. Because if a child is living in an environment, for example, where they're crowded, they don't have comfortable sleeping space, for example, or maybe they're in a home where there is intimate partner abuse, and so the child is exposed to violence, and the child lives in a state of heightened awareness, hypervigilance, we call it, because the child is afraid. The child might not be getting enough sleep, or the child might have to work, and they don't get enough sleep. And then, of course, not to mention our teachers who are so diligent in preparing their lessons and doing all the things that they need to do, and possibly not getting enough sleep either. What happens when we don't get enough sleep? Well, how does it affect our mental health? Lack of sleep causes us to have difficulty with concentration, difficulty with memory, difficulty in interacting with others. We're irritable, we're short-tempered, we're not able to focus well. Sleep really can have a negative effect on our mental health. Remember, we're not talking about mental illness now. We're talking about our mental health. In other words, a state of feeling good and having a sense of well-being. Substance use and abuse. The use of illicit drugs, the use of cigarettes, alcohol, and even the misuse of prescribed medication and substances that are generally accepted, socially acceptable. And so things like caffeine, excessive amounts of caffeine. And we have side effects from all of these substances, and we sometimes don't recognize them. You know, actually, I'm so amused really because I remember when I first came to the United States, I could not get used to this idea of everybody saying, I was working as a nurse then, and everybody would come on the unit saying, oh, don't talk to me yet. I'm not awake yet because I haven't had my coffee. And really, after a while, people actually became so dependent on the coffee that they literally could not function until after they'd had their coffee. What is the coffee that's making them function? It's the caffeine, right? And excessive amounts of it have negative effect not only on the physical well-being, but also on the mental well-being. Social isolation is another lifestyle factor that can have an effect on mental health. Human beings were designed to be in social relationships with other human beings. And so when we are deprived of that social connection, it negatively affects our mental health and our sense of well-being. The COVID-19 pandemic, most recently, has really shown us how negative of an effect social isolation can have. This feeling of being isolated, of not being able to communicate with other people, it's having a negative effect on family relationships. It's having a negative effect on people's sense of well-being, so that we are seeing an increase in cases of depression and anxiety. And of course, the big S, stress, which I'll talk about a little bit more, not a whole lot. Stress becomes dangerous when it interferes with our ability to live a normal life over an extensive period of time. It causes emotional and physical damage. And so we talk about chronic stress being able to kill us. Chronic stress kills us through suicide, violence. Sorry, I've gone a little bit too far. I skipped one. Violence, heart attack, stroke, gastrointestinal disorders, and even cancer has been associated with stress. Because physical and mental resources are depleted through long-term attrition in chronic stress, the symptoms of chronic stress are difficult to treat and may require extensive medical as well as behavioral treatment and stress management. Sometimes it's hard to identify just what exactly created the problem. And we look at all kinds of other things before we recognize that really stress is at the bottom of all of this. And so in our bodies physically, the person who comes into work all the time, you know, with headaches, having frequent infections, the muscles are tense and taut, or having twitching muscles, fatigue, skin irritations, and breathlessness, all of this can be signs of stress. And then mentally, worrying, having muddled thinking, impaired judgment, you know, not making good decisions, or even having nightmares. I said negativity, everything's just kind of negative. The person's not able to think about anything in a positive way. They're hasty, they make hasty decisions. Emotionally, they have a loss of confidence. They're fussy, irritable, have depressed mood, feeling alienated from other people, a sense of apprehension. And behaviorally, they might become more accident prone, loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, drinking more, that is alcohol, insomnia, not being able to fall asleep or falling asleep and then waking up numerous times during the night, sense of restlessness. And sometimes people, you know, try to alleviate the problem by smoking more because they say that nicotine has a calming effect on the nerves. The only problem is while it's calming your nerves, it's destroying your lungs and your heart and your blood vessels. So chronic stress can indeed kill us. Coping with stress. When your stress level exceeds your ability to cope, because stress is a normal part of life. We will feel stressed. And there's a positive stress, by the way. It's called eustress, eustress, eustress. With eustress, that is the kind of stress that motivates you to complete tasks, to get something done, as opposed to distress, which is the kind of stress that we're actually talking about this evening, that prevents you from being able to complete tasks and prevents you from being able to cope. So when this happens, you really need to restore the balance by reducing the stressors or increasing your ability to cope, or both. And then if stress goes on long enough, what happens sometimes is that the person experiences something called burnout. And I think teachers, nurses, and other individuals in helping professions are particularly prone to burnout. Burnout is defined as emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion. So it's a general sense of exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It can impact teachers' lives, personal lives, the children they teach, and the organizations that they work for. The term burnout was first coined by a psychologist during the 1970s. And it, as I mentioned before, affects physical and emotional well-being. Interestingly enough, it is the person who is very conscientious about their work who is likely to develop burnout. It's not the person who says, "Oh, I don't care. I'm not doing it," or "I don't care how this goes. Oh, it was good enough." It's the person who's really, really, really conscientious about their work who's likely to experience burnout. So first of all, what happens, it's a process. There are too many demands on the strength and resources over a prolonged period of time. And then add to that high expectations and deep personal involvement in the work that one does. And then add to that too few actions taken to replenish the energy consumed in meeting these demands. So you have this high demand job, you have high expectations of yourself, you are very invested in doing well and working conscientiously, but you don't take time out to take care of yourself. And so what happens then is that your energies become depleted and you can experience burnout. You experience burnout to the point where, as in this little diagram here, you're so tired that even your tired is tired. Okay, so let's look quickly at causes of burnout, especially for teachers. You might have a sense of lack of control about your daily activities or about the classroom or whatever. Unclear job expectations, dysfunctional workplace dynamics, extremes of activity, lack of social support, or work-life imbalance. And you identify so strongly with work that you lack balance between your work life and your personal life. You have a high workload, including overtime work. You try to be everything to everyone. You work in a helping profession such as education. You feel that you have little or no control over your work, or you might feel that your job is monotonous. And then what might happen sometimes is that people go for unhealthy coping strategies. And these are strategies that might produce temporary relief, but the long-term effects are really damaging, such as smoking, drinking alcohol, overeating, zoning out in front of the TV or in front of the computer. Oops, ooh, sorry, I accidentally clicked on that. Let me see if I can go back. There we go. Withdrawing from friends, family, and activities, feeling so stressed out, and so out of it that you actually withdraw from the people in your life. Using pills or drugs to relax, sleeping too much, procrastinating, filling up every moment of the day with activities so that you can avoid thinking about the problems. Taking out your stress on others, such as lashing out, angry outbursts, physical violence, all of these are unhealthy coping strategies. Some positive coping strategies include avoid perfectionism. You know what? Let's just get used to the idea, because it's a fact. Nobody's perfect. There's going to be a mistake somewhere along the line sometime. Forgive yourself and move on. Develop assertiveness skills. So instead of being aggressive and really getting at everybody, or instead of being passive and not talking up for yourself, practice being assertive. Learn to manage your anger. Balance your work life. Avoid procrastination. Change your self-talk. Stop telling yourself that you're stupid, you're inefficient, you're, all these negative things. Learn to laugh, especially learn to laugh at yourself. I tell you, it is a liberating thing to be able to laugh at yourself. And if you need help, accept help. One of the things that people find very difficult, I'm not going to do this next slide because I think you had that in the previous presentation. But one of the things that we as professionals and also as Jamaicans and as Black folks and as women, we find it very difficult sometimes to ask for help. But sometimes we need help. And if we need help, if there's a situation where you actually don't know the answer to something, be honest about it and seek help so that you can get the help. And here's the nice thing about it. When you don't know something and then you ask for help and you get help, the next time that you're in that situation, you have the answer. And you might be the one to give somebody else help. That's the way life works. Nobody's perfect. So for teachers in particular, there are actually 4 areas of stressors. The workload itself, just preparing the lessons and having to deliver the lessons to the children or young people. The student behaviors might be challenging. And relationships with parents or administrators or other agencies also provide another area of stress, not to mention your own personal concerns. So when you put all of these together, teachers are exposed to a great deal of stress. On the other hand, your students are also exposed to a great deal of stress. Academic demands, financial concerns, post-graduation plans or lack thereof, family problems, romantic relationships, living situations. All of these things are factors that add to the stress for your students. And so here, this is just a little statistics about mental illness in college students. And this particular set of data was actually done in the United States, but I venture to suggest that it probably is not very different from our students, even in Jamaica. 1 in 3 students reported prolonged periods of depression. 1 in 4 students reported having suicidal thoughts or feelings. 50% of students rated their mental health below average or poor. 1 in 7 students reported engaging in abnormally reckless behavior. 50%, and this is important, 50% received no education on mental health issues prior to college. I do believe that because mental health affects all persons of all ages, I didn't say mental illness, I said mental health, is important for persons of all ages. I believe it is something that needs to be addressed from early childhood all the way through to adulthood and beyond, if there's a beyond. Mental illness in college students, it's striking, and we need to really pay that attention. So again, as we come towards the end, remember some of the lifestyle interventions that we can take a look at because they affect our mental health. Diet, exercise, sleep regulation, relaxation techniques, socialization, creative expression, and faith-based activity. Those are some of the things that we can do. And finally, here are some early signs of mental illness that we should try not to miss in ourselves and in others. Eating or sleeping too much or too little. Withdrawing from people and usual activities. Having low or no energy. Feeling numb or like nothing matters. If a child, by the way, or a young person or anyone tells you that they're just feeling numb, they don't feel depressed, they don't feel sad, they just feel numb, like nothing matters. Be very alert to that, because a lot of persons who have experienced trauma of one kind or another, that is their number one complaint. They just feel numb. And then also unexplained aches and pains, feeling hopeless or helpless, substance abuse, use and abuse, feeling unusually confused, forgetful, on edge, angry, upset, worried, or scared, yelling or fighting with family and friends, or having severe mood swings, persistent thoughts and memories that you can't get out of your head, hearing voices or believing things that are not true, thinking of harming yourself or others, or inability to perform daily tasks. All of these can be early signs of mental illness. Let's be aware of these both in yourselves, in your coworkers, and in your students. Other signs to look for in students would be increased tardiness or absences, angry or aggressive behaviors, being withdrawn, socially isolated, reluctance to speak up in class, a sudden unusual drop in grades, disorganization, memory issues, school refusal, and frequent visits to the nurse. These are warning signs of possible mental and behavioral health issues. I hope that we will enjoy this day and enjoy every day and enjoy good mental health. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gordon. We thank you very much for sharing with us in that manner. You've hit the core. You recognize what we've been doing. You've echoed the word burn out. Others will tell you it is a reality, but we continue. However, you didn't just leave us there, but you gave us tools to put in our kits, to say to us that open the kit, take out this tool, utilize this tool, because we must focus on ourselves first in order to continue to serve our students and the whole educational sector. Thank you again for that. A whole lot to meditate on, whole lot, but we will take some of all of these, if possible, put in our new kits and use them to the betterment of ourselves. Mental health, spoken today more than ever. Isolation, that's what we call it, because we're not used to this playing field, right? But we were reminded already by Miss Angelica that we must adapt. We must learn how to, because the reality is that life goes on. We must continue to do what we do, and we want to continue to do it at optimal. So for that to happen, we have to utilize all that you've put in place. Let us go socialize. Let us go have fun. Let us go have conversations. Let us be mindful of our own mental state. Thank you very much.
Before you go, Ms. Levy, question coming in from YouTube from Christine. She asks, what can we do to switch off our minds from running even when we go to sleep? That's a big one.
Sorry, I had muted myself. Yes, that is a really important one, actually. And when our minds are, we say the mind is racing, and it usually prevent people from being able to sleep. And because you haven't had enough sleep, you wake up in the morning and you're feeling tired, and your memory is not as good as it usually is. Your concentration is not as good. So there are some things that you can do to help, such as distracting yourself from these thoughts by playing soothing music at night. That will help you to fall deeply asleep. Also, I'm so sorry. Yes, music at night. Also having a bedtime routine, a specific bedtime routine that allows you to actually fall asleep more efficiently. Above everything else that you can do for yourself, though, in terms of racing thoughts, if someone is having racing thoughts, I would advise that person would seek some type of evaluation. It's not necessary. I'm not necessarily saying that you have, serious mental illness or anything like that. Although if you do, it's just the same as having cancer or diabetes. But if you do, it would be best to seek professional help so that the situation can be properly assessed. Because I might tell you to just, change up your sleeping pattern and play nice music and everything, but there might be something else that's underlying that phenomena in your particular situation, and it needs to be properly assessed by a professional without coming to conclusions as to what it might be. So that would be my best advice, to speak with someone, a professional.
Right, so we are hoping that too will help to answer your question, right? So we want to maintain good routine before bed, have a set time, right? So we want to relax, play some music. That's what we were told today, right? And have some calming tea before you go to bed. We're adding that, right? Because
So
we want
Dr.
to.
That's a good one.
Dr. Bev, that could be a boyfriend bothering, bothering your mind, right?
It could be a lot of things, and that's why I actually stopped with the generalities, because there are so many reasons that could contribute to that experience. And so it's really best to talk with a professional who can help you to sort through what the reasons are. And sometimes you know the reasons, of course.
I do find, I found when my mom died, I was having racing thoughts at nights, and I couldn't turn it off. And so it could be anything, so don't be rushing to judgment.
No, definitely don't come to any conclusions. One of the things that we know as mental health professionals is that you don't diagnose until you have the whole picture. So that is why I'm not doing any prescriptions this evening or saying, you should do this or you should do that. These are some things that can help, but it all depends on what the underlying cause of the problem is. In Leo's case, he was just talking about when his mother died. So that was a part of the grief process. But I would need to know that the person is in a grief process to assign that cause to the experience. Yeah.
Right. So we thank you again. And as we continue, we thank you for the question from YouTube. And we continue to recognize that you are there and you're active. And of such, we reward good behavior. And again, we are going over to reward good behaviors. I know that Daniel will be taking note of the answer this time. So the question that we have for you, we want anybody can, but we want the first person who can tell us 3 issues of mental wellness or 3 factors that will impact our mental health. List any 3 quickly in your chat. Tell us 3 factors that we can think about that will impact our mental state or mental wellness. And then we have something here for you. Is there already? Because I know the fingers are fast,
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet? So we urge our students to pay attention in class. We were doing that, we urge our students to pay attention in class, because you don't know where this test will be coming from, right? Miss could just decide today to give you a little quiz, and now you're called upon to answer. Let me see the persons who are paying attention. Are we getting the answers? Are we getting the answers, Daniel? Or is that they're not hearing from us?
Delay.
There's a bit of a delay.
Oh,
we got one. Andreen Richards is saying forgiveness, death, sickness.
Forgiveness, death, and sickness. Oh, she's unforgiveness.
So right, unforgiveness, right.
That can impact, in more ways than one, right? I know that the truth is we have others listed, but we can't find, because she would have done her assessment and put them in this sense. So the lack of, we're saying, and she's correcting to say the lack of. So unforgiveness is there. Well, I see some other person speaking. Charmaine coming up with nutrition and activities and sleep. Is it one we're giving, Danielle, or is 2? Am I we
can give 2. We can give 2.
All right, so we can give 2. It means, therefore, that the second person was Charmaine. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing, because I took myself and put it right over here.
Seeing.
So Christine gave us workload, family issues, and a lack of sleep that is impacting our mental health. As also we find Andreen Richards, the first person, she said, unforgiveness, so something that we're holding very close to us, our most prized possession, we are holding it. And what is the result? You see what the results are? So be careful. Death, and I think that is Leo's sharing his experience there, and any sickness that can come forward, all of these will result in us having a mental strain. And of such, we are reminded today to pay keen attention to our mental state, right? So let us stop again, as we said before, pause, breathe, run, jump, review, see what is happening to us before we take a decision. Remember, we are human first. And the reminder is that you can't pour from an empty cup. All right, so we are working very well with time because in fact, that is a part of taking care of the you. So we are taking care of ourselves. As we navigate to the last section over here, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to the CCCJ for allowing me this opportunity. And I share too, to tell you that I am a product, I'm going to call it, of the CCCJ, because I came from Bethlehem, CCCJ, back in the days, doing an associate program. And I've risen from that associate degree, and today I am a lecturer at Knox Community College. So I'm a part of the family, right? Brought up into the family and still is a part of the family, CCCJ. All right, so I've given you what I received, and I thank you for accepting them. But we can't finish this lovely setting showing appreciation, which many organizations are crying for. Or we are not being motivated. Nobody's taking the time out to say good job. Nobody's giving us a pat on the shoulder. But here is it you've provided. This means to reach out to your very own people. And for that, we're thankful. That said, I am going to invite Dr. Powell to come forward with the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. What an evening. Well, for me, what a day. We are happy that we were able to partner with the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network to bring you this session, Taking Care of You. We know that our teachers or lecturers have been going through a lot in recent times, and we just wanted to show you. So we are happy that you were able to join us, and we're happy that based on the comments, you're leaving with a number of things. But kindly allow me to thank our moderator or master of ceremony, who did very well. Miss Levy, thank you very much for taking us through.
And welcome. Thank you.
Great, great. Miss Levy is from Knox. To our principals who have joined, Dr. Nelson gave greetings earlier on behalf of the Association of Principals and Vice Principals of the Community College. Thank you very much for your support. It really meant a lot to us. To our presenters, Dr. Gordon and Miss Brooks, I am not sure if anyone could have done any better this evening. Your presentations, they were short, to the point, and they connected with us. And we're happy that you spent the time to share with us teachers, share with us lecturers, how we can take care of ourselves, which is very important, very important. To my team at the Secretariat, it has been a journey. Thank you, Miss Clayton James, for taking the baton and bringing it to fruition. You were able to coordinate all of this while the senior management team attended to other things, but we are all here. Mrs. Hall, Miss Barrett, for sharing this evening. Thank you very much. And I must tell you, our colleagues, they're also on YouTube watching us, they participate in the session. So thank you all. Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. And we look forward, Leo, to more presentations using this platform. We want to be more involved with the diaspora, and we welcome the opportunities. So thank you all. And I say have a very restful evening. Let us try to go and sleep and leave everything else behind us this evening. Let us continue to celebrate us. Continue to take care of yourself.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Powell, for extending all those warmth and greeting, welcome, everything. Grandma would say greetings and salutation. You're giving you everything. We're saying how thankful and how pleased we are coming to this end. And as we exit, we are still reminding ourselves that first and foremost, take care of you first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not selfish, because without you, there is no teacher in class. Make time for what makes you happy. And we say it out loud and we say it together to all of us in the profession. A happy Teachers' Day, and ensure that when we say that, we're saying it being happy. We are saying it, we are speaking because it's a language and we want it to be what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I didn't bore you, but thank you very much for listening or being good sport and taking us through to the end. Indeed, an impactful afternoon. CCCJ.